This is probably not surprising to anyone at this point. Let's just move on. Wonder Woman 1984 definitely has its fair share of good moments, but it's very forgettable. The villains are weak, and there's a lot of bizarre stuff that was just really dumb. Suicide Squad 2016 definitely has its fair share of problems, but it's still fun and it isn't complete trash. This movie is not great, but it's not as bad as people say. Michael Keaton is fantastic as Batman. Sasha Calle was a standout as Supergirl. The CGI in the movie is really bad. I also feel the movie goes off the rails in the third act, mainly because the third act of the movie is just one giant CGI battle that looks like a video game. General Zod was even kinda wasted in this movie, and he didn't feel as threatening as he did in Man of Steel. Definitely has problems, but it's still entertaining. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice also has its fair share of flaws, but there's still visually stunning action scenes, and Ben Affleck's performance as Batman is definitely the best part of the movie. Birds of Prey isn't a masterpiece, but it's still entertaining, and Margot Robbie's performance carries the movie. Black Adam was a really fun time. Dwayne Johnson was really good in this movie, and it's very fun despite some problems. Wonder Woman is one of the better comic book movies we've had in recent years. The action was really good, the performances were strong. The reason why it isn't number one is because the third act does go off the rail. But aside from the third act, good movie. Aquaman is a very fun movie. It is silly and cheesy, but it's aware of what it is, and the visuals in the movie are absolutely outstanding. Shazam is one of the most entertaining movies in the DCEU. Zachary Levi is very charismatic in the lead role. It's also very funny. Blue Beetle is one of my favorite films of the year so far, which really surprised me because I was skeptical going in when I heard some of the mixed reviews. Shoto Maridueña is phenomenal in this movie. He is so good in this role, and I can't wait to see more of him. George Lopez was hilarious in a supporting role. The movie is incredibly well shot. I love the costume in this movie. It's a really good mix of practical effects and CGI. I also love the score. The Suicide Squad is an absolute blast. This movie is a huge improvement over the first one. The characters were all lovable, and King Shark was the standout. Man of Steel is truly an underrated superhero movie. Henry Cavill is amazing as Superman, and General Zod is hands down the best DCEU villain. Zack Snyder's Justice League is my favorite film in the DCEU. This is a movie that, despite being 4 hours long, didn't bore me at all. The characters were better developed in this version, and a lot of the humor that was really forced in the 2017 Justice League was removed. And let's not forget, the scene where Henry Cavill as Superman shows up in his black suit was absolutely epic. This movie is far better than the Joss Whedon cut, and that is why it is my #1 favorite DCEU movie.